In today's video, we're going to be talking about why it's better to be jailed than it is to be killed, and how using a gun for self-defense with your family is obviously more important than worrying about going to jail. How's it going, guys? And welcome to another episode of Coffee Talk yet again. My name is Chad, and this is the Hopeful Homestead. I like to think that I'm talking to all the husbands and dads out there about all the difficult things in life as we're just trying to make it through, figuring things out. And as husbands and fathers, protecting your family is obviously paramount. And choosing to do so with a firearm comes at potentially a pretty high cost. Now, unfortunately, there are places in this country, certainly around the world, but in this country, even here in America, where choosing to defend yourself or your family with a firearm could be very costly. It could quite literally, especially if that threat you're taking care of with your firearm ends up dying, you might end up in jail, unfortunately. But my argument here today is that ending up in jail is far better than you dying, or certainly your family dying, your wife or your kids being harmed or being killed as a result of you not defending them with your firearm. And I think as men, no matter where you live, if you're able to have a gun and you're able to carry it, legally you should be able to use it to be able to defend yourself. And I think in about 38 states now, there's stand your ground laws. I know here in Florida, we have stand your ground laws, whether you're at home or out in public. You can stand your ground and use lethal force to protect yourself or your family or even strangers if you think that they are in imminent danger, or even just in danger of great bodily harm, not even in deadly danger. I'm appreciative of the law here in the state of Florida that allows me to protect myself and others around me. But in a lot of places, guys, I know, some places like California, Colorado, New York, Illinois, other places out there where even if you're in your own home and you choose to use a firearm to defend yourself, you could still find yourself in a difficult legal battle that results in you potentially going to jail, which is utterly ridiculous, but it's just the reality. And I think we need to, as men, even in those places, either move to a state where you can protect your family and it's not a problem, or if you choose to stay, you need to be preparing yourself mentally and getting comfortable with the idea of not second guessing and not delaying in your use of a firearm to protect your family. Just prepare yourself to know that you're not going to think about the legal ramifications. You're only going to think about what your family needs in the moment. And if that costs you your life in terms of having to spend the rest of your life in jail, that is a well-paid price to ensure that their safety and well-being is taken care of. And as men, you need to prepare mentally for that reality, that unfortunate reality. But it's not all doom and gloom. There seems to be recently, in the past few years, and especially in the past few months, a cultural shift and a legal trend happening across the country in many states. I know here in the state of Florida that's been the case, and even on a national scale with the U.S. Supreme Court, there's been a shift and a change towards rolling back some of these overreaching regulations and stipulations regarding firearms, regulating firearms, the way you carry firearms. That's all starting to change, and there's sort of a self-correction happening across the country in a lot of ways, where legally things are changing. And that only happens through cases being brought to court and elevating through the court system that end up unlocking freedoms for everyone. So if you're in California and you choose to defend your family with a firearm, and you do it in a proper way where you have no other choice, and then you fight that in court, and you can potentially lose in your initial court battles in your local courts because they're so corrupt out there, you can fight that up through appeals and eventually get up to higher courts on a federal level where the culture shift has been taking place, and you might be able to get in front of a judge that takes down the ruling against you. And then that sets a precedent that unlocks a new precedent for everything in your state and across the country. So be willing to take care of your family and defend them, and know that you still have a fighting chance in court to be able to maybe set a new trend and define a new standard through the court system if your case has to be elevated through that. So it's not all doom and gloom. There is some hope now, thankfully. It's good coffee. But that's going to do it for today's video. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Hit the like button. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you feel like sticking around, I've got a video up here all about why it's important to carry a gun daily as a husband and father. So go check that out, and I look forward to seeing you over there. Thanks for watching, guys.